There's something unique about shooting with the M11-D. If you've never tried a D series camera like the M10-D or previous cameras before that, there's something freeing and at the same time, something scary about using the M11-D. If you shot with film, you're good because it's like using a film camera, except you don't have film. You're just, recording images inside either the internal drive, which is 256 gigabytes of internal storage, or your SD card. So you don't get to see the images right off the bat. You can't look at them through the viewfinder. You can use your Leica Photos app on the phone, or you can connect it to your PC or Mac and do it that way. But in the moment, it's your camera and it's you. And you're very in tune with what's around you. And I like this process a lot. And sometimes, I review a lot of cameras here on this channel, as you know, and I test the latest in terms of technology. Sometimes it's nice to take a step back. I take my film camera and I go out and I shoot because it's me and the camera and it's what I see around me. It's relaxing, it's therapeutic. At the same time, it's very interesting the moments that we can capture when we're really just looking for them. Because sometimes with, all these modern cameras, we take a photo or a series of photos and we go and we look on the display, we're making sure everything's in focus. And then as we're doing this, light goes by, right? And that's what the M11-D does. It takes you out of that and it brings you back into the moment. So big thanks to Leica Singapore for loaning me the camera and the lens, the 50 Oppo, for this review. With that said, these are my thoughts and my thoughts only. And I like it when Leica does niche, monochrome cameras, the D series cameras. There's something unique about that you don't get from any other camera manufacturer out there. Yes, you can shoot black and white with other camera companies out there, but they're just, simulations. But with the monochrome, it's pure black and white. And the M11-D is like that as well. It's almost the most pure way to shoot a modern photograph in 2024. Now, in terms of the specs, it's essentially an M11P without a display. That's it, right? There's no other difference to it. You connect it to the Leica Photos app via Wi-Fi, and you sync up your photos that way, DNG or JPEG, either of the two. You can set up your camera, all the settings internally through the Leica Photos app. That's the only way you can do it. So you are reliant on your phone in some respects, but to transfer photos, you can do it through the Photos app or through your PC or Mac, which I find it to be a little bit, I was hoping the M11-D would be better than the M10-D in terms of, I was hoping for, let's say, a drive that would just show up on our desktop. Then we could just click and drag those images out, but it's not that easy. It actually just sort of works within photo apps or Lightroom or Apple Photos, for example, since I use a Mac, where you'll see the camera there, then you can drag the photos that way. But yeah, I wish it was a little bit easier. But outside of that though, you are reliant on the phone for setting it up. But once you set up this camera, it's a one-time, one-and-done kind of scenario, in my opinion at least, unless you're going to update the firmware. Because, set it your ISO to auto, easy, right? Your shutter speed, your shutter, set it to hybrid so it goes mechanical and electronic, because the M11 series does do a faster electronic shutter speeds versus before. And that's it. And you just concentrate on taking the image and you hope for the best. And there's something scary about that too, which I enjoyed, because over the past couple of weeks, I've been shooting with this camera system, and as you're seeing some of the images already through the video here. And I took it I was hosting an event or co-hosting an event for the Porsche Taycan, the new Taycan, which launched here in Singapore. And I got a photo of the one-of-one Celestial Jade Taycan Turbo S. Beautiful car. This is a very unique paint job. Use the 50 Oppo with it. Wow, chef's kiss, especially with the color science coming out of the M11-D. And just taking photographs of Porsches behind the scenes, because there was a series of cars there. And then I went out to a little Chinese temple during Hungry Ghost Month here in Singapore, capturing moments there. And you don't know how the images are going to turn out. And there's something scary about that and something liberating about that at the same time. And that's what this camera brings to you. And I know this video may sound like an infomercial, and it's not. It's just that, look, I like something unique out there. We've tried all the latest in technology in terms of cameras out there. Eye tracking, subject tracking, AI, all that comes into play. But there's something freeing to take that away and just to have your camera and you, and not knowing if the image is in focus. You hope it's in focus because you're obviously focusing, but you don't know exactly if it's going to be right. Is the exposure right? Is it metering right? You don't know because you can't see the image. And that's what makes it fun. And so, yeah, over the past couple of weeks, I've really enjoyed my process with the M11-D. Now, I tried the M10-D previously, and I did a review with that with Tech 360, and I'll link that here if you want to check that out. Now, with that camera, the one downside to it was the battery life wasn't good, especially with VisoFlex, right? 150, 200 shots max, you're flat, you're done. Not really that good. M11, since when it came out, had a better battery, so you're getting more shots per your charge, and it just works a lot better. And I did not try with the VisoFlex for this review, but I'm guessing based on my experience with the M11P and M11 and now the M11D, battery life is going to be much better for you out there. So don't worry about that too much, but it's always good to get another battery. I love the internal storage. As I mentioned earlier in this video, 256 gigabytes of internal storage, which is fantastic. I mean, you don't need to bring an SD card, to be honest with you. You really don't. And, 60 megapixel, it's a tri-resolution sensor, so you can bring it down, I think 60, 36, and 18, if I'm not mistaken. But all that together, it's a fun camera, man. Now, I know it's priced at a premium. I get that. It's not going to be for everybody out there. So I'm going to preface this recommendation like this. If you have the means and you're looking for something unique and fun, and you're like, look, I just want to take a break from all the crazy autofocusing, and I just want to be one with the camera, so to speak, kind of be a little bit more zen with your camera, this might be a good option for you. You got the budget for it. If you are a camera collector, you've got all the various different cameras out there and you want something different, this might be for you. Could this be your one and done camera, the only camera you own? For some people, yes. Yes. If you are used to shooting film and you want that experience, but you don't want to pay for developing and scanning film, yes, you could do it with this camera. And it would probably work really well for you because you're already used to that workflow. But if you're not used to that workflow, it might take a little bit of adjusting. But to wrap up this video, because obviously there's not really much to say outside of, the only differences between the M11P and the D is no display on the back of it. Obviously between the M10D and the M11D, there are some enhancements obviously with M10 and M11, but there's no faux advanced lever that would, second as a thumb rest. That's not there anymore. It's a fun camera, guys. It really is. And I would say Leica does niche really well. Not going to be for everybody, but these are limited. And I will tell you, on the secondhand market, these D-series cameras hold their value a lot more than the other ones because there's not that many out there. So that's something to take note of. Oh, by the way, I do want to highlight this. I've been reading on the forums. Sometimes there's been issues with shutter issues with the M11 series. There's been a number of firmware updates trying to address it. Now, I did not experience any of that with the D, so I'm just putting that out there, okay? I shot with it for almost a week and a half, 2 weeks, quite extensively. I did not see that happen, so just giving you a heads up on that, okay? With that, guys, if you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. I know a lot of you are watching but not subscribing, but please do so. It helps me out a lot, and I'll chat to you guys very, very soon, all right? Take care.